tofu by ordering $160 worth of my favorite snack from Japan.
Mr.Reddit.
If you are like me and love international snacks, consider their shelf life before purchasing online. I live in America and my favorite snack is from Japan. It is not available in the States. Luckily, I found it online. Because shipping was $50 regardless of quantity, I ordered a massive amount of this snack so I wouldn't have to pay shipping again soon. Because of the long travel, the order took over 6 weeks to get to me. By the time it arrived, it was all expired. I have never spent this much money on a snack. I was so elated when they arrived and am now very sad and feel very stupid. At this point I am considering pretending like I didn't figure out when they were expired and just enjoying the snack anyway.
Tofu because I wear the wrong color dress. I'll never look at my wardrobe the same way again. Went to a wedding last weekend and thought I had everything planned. Found this beautiful blue dress that I thought was perfect, felt amazing in it. But when I showed up, I realized it was the same exact shade of blue as the bridesmaids' dresses. Everyone kept asking me if I was part of the bridal party. I was so embarrassed, trying to explain I wasn't, but it was too late. The bride was the sweetest and didn't mind at all, but I could tell she was a little thrown off. I spent the entire night worrying that I was making things awkward, even though no one said anything directly. At least I wasn't in the same color as the bride. I guess that's a win.
AITA for canceling on our family cruise? So, my parents wanted to do a cruise for the holidays. They invited me, 25F, my boyfriend, 27M, my brother, 28M, and his girlfriend, 26F. My brother, let's call him James, has always been the golden child. Some backstory: back in high school, when James was discovered to be selling pills, he was just going through a phase. Meanwhile, when I got caught smoking weed, my parents threatened to kick me out. James lost his scholarship and dropped out of college 3 different times, but he's still perfect. I graduated a semester late and I didn't try hard enough. James still lives in the state where he attending college, and I live in my home state near my parents. He doesn't work. He's not currently in school. My parents buy him flights all the time to come visit, but don't buy me a flight to go see him or go anywhere else. My parents send him money for rent and life necessities. He bought a $2,000 dog recently with that money. When I got my first big job at age 22, my parents immediately kicked me off their insurance since I had the option of benefits. James was on their insurance until he turned 26. Last year, I got laid off and moved back in with my parents to save money. When I got my new job, my parents told me I needed to pay $10,000 in back rent, which was never discussed previously. I did finish paying it off and recently moved in with my boyfriend. This has been a pattern my whole life. James gets everything handed to him and I have to work my ass off. So, now to the cruise. My parents said they wanted to do this, and bought tickets for themselves, James, and his girlfriend. They told me to get my own tickets since I have a well-paying job. I was super upset, and told them it wasn't fair that I was the only one who had to buy their own ticket. My boyfriend couldn't come due to holiday plans with his own family. My parents said I was acting spoiled and that green wasn't a good look on me. I am so tired of hearing that phrase at this point. They said it's not like I had to get a nice room since we'd be outside it the majority of the time anyway, which is true. But then why get James a nice room? I decided I had enough and I wasn't going. But here's where I may be the asshole. I let them continue thinking I was for months. Then, on the night before they left, they said to get to their house by 8 a.m. so we could start the drive to the port. At 8:30 that day, they start messaging me asking where I am. I texted them, since you didn't want to put the effort in to have me join you, I will be attending my boyfriend's Thanksgiving instead. Have a nice trip with your favorite child. Then I muted the chat. I talked to some friends about this, and some said it was petty of me to cancel with no warning, and others said I should have sucked it up and gone since I would have had fun when I got there. They've been on the cruise for a couple days now, and I'm starting to regret how I handled things. Yeah, I probably would have had fun, and it's not like I couldn't afford the ticket. I also could have handled the delivery better. But at the same time, I'm so sick of them treating me like this, so, AITA for canceling on our family vacation. Ada has no consensus, but, Whoopi was NA.
AITA for not removing a photo my girlfriend told me before she moved in with me. I, 26M, think this is completely ridiculous, but maybe I'm actually wrong, so here goes. I've been with my girlfriend, 26F, for 5 years, but we've known each other since we were 15. I'm fortunate to have my own place, and we've discussed for a while her moving in with me as she has been staying in the house more often. this wasn't a problem until she was about to move in. I have a few photos in the house of me with members of my family. The problem is with a specific photo of me with my brother and father. She told me to remove the photo before she moved in to accommodate her. I asked her why. She answered that it's weird, but to me, there's nothing weird about the photo. She's the one making it weird. Maybe the only thing weird about the photos is that all of them are when I was a child, but none of them are inappropriate or have something you can take the wrong way. She had no other argument and, in the end, I refused and she said she wouldn't move in and I was okay with that. This has been a topic of discussion for the past few days. Some of our friends and even my father said that I should remove the photo to make her feel welcome, but I just find that, again, ridiculous. Edit. I won't post the photo because I don't feel comfortable, but I will describe it as much as possible. The photo was taken when my brother was 6 and I 7. In the middle is my father with a grin from ear to ear. His eyes closed and his arms extended to the sides. To his left is my brother, buzz cut, standing straight with his arms at the side like a soldier and a serious face. To my father's right is me, long hair, standing like a boxer from 1910 with my chin up and a mean mug, all wearing a suit because it was taken at my uncle's wedding. The photo was taken outside the place where the event took place. There is nothing exceptional related to the place. The only things aside from us is the sun, the blue sky and a bunch of trees. She has met my family, she has always been respectful/friendly with them and vice versa. There hasn't been incidents or problems with any of them. I have asked her and she has denied it. Her problem is with the photo I described above. I have other photos with my father and brother individually. I do the same pose in various photos. I have one doing the same pose with my paternal grandfather where we both wear boxing gloves. He taught me the pose. She has stayed in the house multiple days, even weeks. She has things here. She never brought up the issue. I'm all for compromising, but I need a proper explanation other than, it's weird. I still have long hair, even longer than before. She is very fond of it and not a problem. None of the photos stands out. They're put on a small part of the wall in the living room with the others, including the ones I'm with her. They're not big or I'd basically be upholstering the entire wall. She had issues with her family but they solved it. But I don't rule out that something happened that she hasn't told me. My GF had problems with her family when she was 15. All of them, including all of her extended family, are involved in the medical field and they expect everyone do the same. They were very supportive of her until she decided to follow a different path. They let her study what she wanted but there was friction. They spent her high school years in therapy fixing their relationship and they did, according to her. Now, her nephew, her brother's son, also wants to pursue a different career. He has been facing the same problems my GF faced. He called her because he knows that she does something completely different and because the relationship with his father and even with my GF's parents changed drastically. The call happened days before she was about to move in with me and what caused her behavior. My GF wanted to deal with the situation before she moved with me and by herself. Unfortunately, she did it horribly. On the day of our fight, she hasn't thought in anything other than going ballistic. She was going to tell me about it and ask for help, but she decided to pick a stupid fight to buy time and deal with the situation. Not only the mentioned photo but all of them brought bad feelings. She just selected the goofiest one. She not only felt bad for herself, but especially for her nephew. She doesn't have a problem with the photos, she likes them, or with my family. It's the contrast. I hope this makes sense. My family has always supported us no matter what and the photos shows that, while with her family, it seems, their support is still conditional. She thought her family knew better at this point after what happened with her. In our first chat after I made the post, she apologized for her behavior and told me what I wrote above. She explained that she felt overwhelmed and she broke down when the thought that I might be breaking up with her popped in her head. I never implied, which prompted her to book an emergency session with her therapist. She had the session before our talk. She accepts and knows that everything could have been avoided if she had told me what was happening, despite what this situation implies. She has never made these types of demands and knows that I don't tolerate them. She completely regrets it. Our communication has always been good. We have always been open with our needs, problems, and what we want in the future. Not for nothing we are moving together. We already had a long trial thanks to the quarantine. I understand her a little because things have been going really well between us and with her family. The situation with her nephew came out of nowhere and shook her up a lot. She knows that I'm still a bit upset that it took her this long to come to her senses and she keeps apologizing, but she's taking the right steps to move forward, so we're cool. We also talked, still do, more in depth about us and we are in the same page. I'm not going anywhere and she's been more than explicit that she isn't either. She suggested couples therapy and although I'm not against it, if we communicate like before and now, I think we'll be fine, but I don't rule it out. We are going to keep things as they are for now until the situation with her family is resolved whatever the outcome, which made her rush to message her parents to set a meeting with them next week lol. We are taking it easy and dealing with one problem at the time. The photos are staying and she will bring hers once she moves in to put them with them like we agreed before. I think I covered as much as I could. Thanks for taking the time, and I'll be checking the post if you have other questions.
Thank you all for watching. If you are interested, subscribe and watch other videos.